Hi everybody, I wanted to do a quick video about the challenges of playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on servers outside of the region that you're based in. And this goes for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on Xbox and on PC as well. Because if, like myself, you really enjoy playing with people, say, from different Discord groups, like the Hot Drop Discord group, you'll be playing with people on NA servers or Far Eastern servers or European servers, but there is a price to pay. It is tougher if you play on servers outside of your region. Now, I'm not saying you can't have great games if you play on servers outside of your region. In fact, I know myself and other teammates I play with, when the test server comes on, because the test server for Xbox is in North America, you know, we've won plenty of chicken dinners. I've won solo chicken dinners, at least one, on North American server. So, you know, you can still have good games, but generally the gameplay for you won't be as good as if you're playing on the server that's closest to you. So, you know, why is that? What's going on? Well, if you go to a site like PUBG.disquse.ru, if you just do a Google search for ping PUBG servers, this comes up. Now, this has got a list of all the PUBG dedicated servers. Now, what happens in PUBG is that when you're playing at home on your PC or your Xbox or your mobile, you have a little program running. You have PUBG running locally, and as you do something, say you fire your gun over the internet, that information that you fired your gun goes off to a central computer, a central server that then registers that and then checks it against anybody who should be in that location to see whether you hit them, or if somebody's fired a bullet at you, whether you hit them, and it sends that information back to your computer or your Xbox. And that goes for everything, so movement, bullets, damage, everything like that happens like that. So there is a time delay involved. So if you've got two people, say I'm shooting at you and you're 100 meters away, and we're both, one of us in Europe, so say, you know, I'm on a European server, say I'm on the London server, but you're in America and you're using the London server, and let's say we both fire each other at exactly the same time, so we both look at each other, we both pull the trigger, and so both bullets leave. Because I am physically closer to the London server, the information that I fired that bullet will reach that server first before the person from America's information can reach that server. So that gives me an advantage. I could well kill that person. We both fired at the same time. In fact, he might have even fired earlier than me. But because my information reached that server first, my bullet registers first, and then I get the hit. Now, that doesn't really matter at the beginning of a gunfight, but it does at the end, because when you hit the last bullet and the person dies, any other bullets in transit disappear, pretty sure, in PUBG. You don't get trade kills in PUBG. But you can see how that could be important. So how do we test this? Well, if we go to this site here, what we can do is we've got all the servers that PUBG have, and we just say ping. And so this is pinging them all from my current location, from my laptop to all these servers. And what you can see straight away is, because I'm in Europe, because I'm in England, the latency or the ping to the European servers, whether that be Ireland or London or Frankfurt, is incredibly low. So to London it's 15 milliseconds. To Ireland it's 24 milliseconds, and to Europe it's 33 milliseconds. Now, in general, if you look into this, if you have a ping or a latency less than sort of 50 milliseconds, or definitely less than 30 milliseconds, generally in a multiplayer game, whether that be PUBG or Battlefield or Call of Duty, you'll have a good experience. It will feel like your bullets are going where they're meant to go, and they're hitting who they're meant to hit. If you get a ping over 100, that's when things start to get a bit squiffy, where you'll be firing at people, and maybe your bullets don't always seem to be hitting, or you seem to be hitting more. Or what can happen as well is that as you are moving around the map, because the information is updating more slowly, things like driving can be a lot harder, because as you're driving along the map, you're seeing that rock a little bit later than the people who are in the car if you're in a squad with people in Europe and North America. And if we look at the North American servers, on the East Coast it's over 100 milliseconds. If it's on the West Coast, we're looking at 177 milliseconds, and in fact in Oregon there's something odd going on because it's gone up to 600 milliseconds, which is a huge amount of time. If we were to play with some Asian servers, 300 milliseconds to Australia, China 250 milliseconds. So as you can see there, the difference in lag or latency between me playing on the London server at 15 milliseconds to playing on the American, say, I don't know, Ohio server at 110, there's 10 times more lag, 10 times more latency. So I'm not saying don't play on other servers. I'm saying that when you are playing with people, say if Europeans, you're playing on the North American server, just bear in mind you will have a tougher time. Less of your bullets will seem to be hitting. It's probably a good idea if you don't drive because of that latency. And also the people who are in North America have you've got to realise that the Europeans who are playing on North American servers are at a disadvantage. So they might well be blasting away at people, and they might not be hitting them. And it's not, obviously it could be their fault like me, where I have a bit of a potato aim, but a lot of the time it will be because the latency or lag means that the person they're firing at has moved by the time their bullet gets there. So it's very difficult to do. So there we go. I'm not saying don't play on different servers. I'm just saying that there is a challenge to playing on different servers, and the reason for that is this massive difference in latency or lag between playing on a server which is in your region. So if you're in the UK playing on the Irish or the English server or the British servers, or if you're playing in North America on those particular servers there. Anyway, I hope that helps. I hope, especially if you're playing on those different servers and you're thinking, well, why do I keep dying all this time, or why don't I seem to be doing as well as I would be, then that could well be the reason. Okay, that's enough from me. Put your questions and comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.